Hope everyone had a glorious Easter weekend as we had a wonderful, wonderful bright lit morning, but now we're going to have to put up with clouds for the rest of the day. But even with that being said, our temperatures warmed so fast that we already sit at 70 degrees at the lunch hour. Now, usually we peak out about, anywhere between 4 p.m. and our average high would be 67. We're 3 hours ahead of that and already 3 degrees above that. Now, we look at our wind coming in at 18 miles per hour, and usually about that time, we say, well, it's warm. What are we going to do? Gust up to 40, 50 miles an hour now? We're just going to keep it in between the 20, 25 mile an hour range. Not too bad. And the nice thing is we are able to avoid any elevated fire warnings. We'll get to that in just a second, but let's take a look at our temperatures. 70 in Joplin, 72 in Neodesha, 68 in Miami, and 71s in both Lamar and in Carthage. Now, our humidity, not too bad, 51%. When we had those elevated fire warnings last week, that's when we were dropping as low as 30%, anywhere down to 25%. And that's what we're seeing right here from the deep southwest all the way up to the Rocky Mountains. And so, no surprise when we talk about where the watches and warnings are for those red flags and those elevated fire conditions. We see them right here through this portion. The tan indicating high wind warnings, the red flag warnings that we had last week, and you see them up in the Dakotas right here. That's where they had a state of emergency because of their wildfire problems. So we do luck out just a little bit despite the fact that our wind has increased. A little bit of cloud cover moving in from the south, but still 51% humidity, still pretty dry. You may see a raindrop or two just every now and then with those clouds, but it's not going to amount to anything. It's actually going to be a very pleasant afternoon and evening, and it'll continue into Tuesday. The ridge of the jet stream pushing all the way up through the Canadian border and over the Great Lakes. And what that will mean, whole bunch of warmth. You get straight under the ridge and you're absolutely perfect. As a matter of fact, look at these temperatures. Minneapolis, Minnesota right now is warmer than Joplin. Who would have thought that? And as a matter of fact, Minneapolis, warmer than Atlanta. What we do have is a big low pressure system right here working its way in the Pacific Northwest, right on Oregon. It is going to make its way over the Rockies and eventually give us thunderstorm activity for Tuesday night into Wednesday. But before we get there, 2 glorious days to start our work week. We'll be up around 75 degrees by the time we top out today. We will have that gradual increased cloud cover, but look at what this does for Tuesday morning. Keeps us in the 60s. You got to remember, go back a couple weeks ago, we couldn't even fathom topping out in the afternoon for the 60s. Absolutely getting spoiled. But now, as we work from Monday into Tuesday, we'll keep our eyes out in central Kansas. Now, Tuesday morning, see a little pop-up right there? That's not the one we're looking for. We're waiting for Tuesday afternoon for it to develop. And once it does, it's going to barrel in that low pressure system that we were talking about out the Pacific Northwest. Heavy rains going to last all the way through Wednesday morning. And when it rolls through, we're talking thunder, lightning, heavy rain, and the possibility of some wind and some hail as well. And that's why when we go to the mowing forecast, if you want to get anything done, I'd say today and tomorrow are going to be perfect. Wednesday is going to be probably worse than poor. I just couldn't come up with another category. And Thursday, only fair because you're going to have to put up with the rain that we're going to get from Wednesday. We're talking anywhere from 1 inch to 1.5 inches, maybe even 2 inches when we talk about those heavy pockets. Severe thunderstorm risk map. We do see the low category up to the northwest portion because remember, everything's going to generate in north central Kansas and then work its way straight through the 4 states. So it breaks up a little bit as it works to the east, but everybody out here needs to know that's going to be the worst threat for the high winds and also the hail. But you'll notice even this minimal category, the light green, that's simply thunderstorm activity. Usually we fall in that category, but no, we're going to go minimal for the rest of the south central 4 states all the way through southwest Missouri. Give you an idea of this national perspective here as we make our way through. No, sometimes she doesn't want to cooperate. That's fine. I made my point there. Thunderstorms Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. Tanya, Thursday is going to be chilly, especially considering we're going to get spoiled with back-to-back mid-70s. But look at this. End of the week, end of the weekend, 74, 68, whole bunch of sunshine. And it's kind of one of those things where Mother Nature was like, I gave you a gorgeous, gorgeous Easter, So you're just going to have to kind of tolerate some midweek thunderstorms.
There you go.
A fickle mistress she is.
But she did give us a beautiful Easter, and you can't complain about that.
I do not
was
complain
nice.
about her ever.
I know you don't. And if someone complains, they don't complain about her, they complain about you, and you'll take it. All right, thanks, Michael.